We'll just take a word from the chairman of the Council of Elders on behalf of all of us to just say a word, and then after that we'll have Muslim prayers, and then the ceremony will be over. Honorable C.K. Tadam would give a word.
Brothers and sisters, our Father, yes, is now lying before us, and we are here to say farewell to him. It is for us to go and pray that with his presence here, victory will be ours. Amen. He will make sure that Nana Akufo-Addo becomes the president of Ghana, to save Ghana and save everybody. So, Lord of us, our Almighty God, we pray that you continue to take care of us. From here, we are moving to another place. Take care of us to move smoothly and do everything the way you want us to do, so that victory will be ours and Ghana will be saved now and always. We ask for all this in the name of your own Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen.
Thus, C.K. Tadam giving prayers. The body arrived not too long ago to a sorrowful scene. Libation was poured as per tradition to usher in the body to a place where he had worked for some time. He's been brought here for the last time. From here, the body will be conveyed to the forecourt of the State House for a state funeral.
The first of two services being put together for the late Jake Obetsebi Lamptey. He was one time Chief of Staff in the erstwhile Kufuor administration, became Minister for Tourism and Modernization of the capital city, but more importantly, became the chairman of the MPP until he didn't win an election again. Of course, had to have another person replacing him. But more importantly, the talk has always been about how he's contributed significantly to the fledgling democracy we've had in the Fourth Republic. And I guess we'll have to say that may he rest in perfect peace. There's the first of two ceremonies that we're going to have. And then the second one will be the official one at the forecourt of Parliament House, in which we're going to have in attendance various dignitaries, as well as people from all sides of the political divide, family, friends, as well as well-wishers and members of the public. And we'll try as much as possible to bring to you the live transmission of that very important ceremony that will take place. It's a funeral service of the late Jake Obetsebi Lamptey. He was 70 years old when he passed. I have in the studio Member of Parliament for Nakdam, who is in the person of Boniface Adakbila Gambila. Thanks for joining me. Forget about the mix-up in your name.
He's right.
Okay. What can you say about him?
Jake, yeah. I would say it has been too premature. This is one of the deaths that you can describe as being too premature. Simply because this is somebody who has a lot of talent and a lot of knowledge to impart into people. Yeah, he's such a creative person that can do so many things in the right way. Has helped people to become leaders of this country in various sectors. Has put so much ideas in the system, and things have grown well for Ghana and for his home. And it looks like the gene from the father, the family gene, has gone through him, and he has really displayed.
What a statement.
He has really displayed what his father
Yeah.
didn't actually finish.
Actualize.
So it's like a son completing the dad's job, but even then he too needs his son to complete his job. You see, you know, when he was made, he became chief of staff and minister. One thing he brought was to make sure that tourism in this country moved to the top. And you remember when he's, you know, some people say, you know, this Bronga Hafo monkey sanctuary he put in the magazine. Boabin Fiama monkey sanctuary he put in the achievements of the MPP. It was a signal that he had moved, tourism had moved under Kufuor from about low-level fifth to about third national income earning for this country. But people use it to criticize because, like somebody would say, I learned in Chi that your brain is not helping you. You understand what I mean? So if your brain helps you, then you can understand why the monkey of the Bronga Hafo represents the people of Bronga Hafo in tourism, creating more income, revenue for Ghana in that intervention. So that is somebody who is very creative. Now, he's also somebody who inspires people and motivates people. Because I remember, for example, he told me, no, you don't have to quit politics because you have lost the first time. So you stay. If you go, who will take over? So that is how I also stayed in politics because of him. And I used to like sitting with him and chatting, you know. And for some reason, he also liked to be sitting and chatting with me. And when he's chatting with me, one thing I noticed, he was always like, oh, what can we do to get the North improved, to get closer to the South, you know, that kind of bridging the divide. Bridging the gap. So I found him a wonderful person.
Would you say he's somebody at a time when the MPP took office, was not too old, was old, you know, that kind of middle-aged kind of person, and so had the experience of the old and the experience of the new, and he brought that to bear?
I think it's just his makeup. Even if he was, I believe, I don't know what he did when he was under 30 years. I don't really know. But looking at him and with my experiences in dealing with people's personality, an assessment of his personality gives me the impression that he's that kind of person who is prudent and who is creative and, you know, somebody who fits into so many things and can think very fast in doing things. So in terms of age, chronological age doesn't actually matter. You know, when people play with chronological age, I say these people are just a bunch of people who don't know what God has created, you understand?
Yeah.
So God creates people in their own in his own image. And so you cannot say whether you are old, you can't perform, or you are young, you can't perform. You know, whichever way, there are younger people who don't know how to do simple things.
Yeah.
He's thinking and moving tourism to about the third national income earning level. There are younger people who have not thought that.
And I remember within that period, we had the Discovery Channel with one of their lead presenters come and showcase Ghana on Discovery Channel. And following that, we've had a resurgence in tourism, which of course we needed to continue, which we've not. Just putting Ghana on that very map.
Yeah, I remember I was with him in Paga at the Paga Crocodile Point.
Oh, you were.
I was with him with the movie team.
Yes.
I was
they flew the helicopter.
Oh yeah, I was there. You know, so and think of the paragliding thing at Kwau. So how can Kwau people forget about Jake? You understand what I'm saying? So that is the makeup. That is the God-made person. So it's not about age. It's not about the energy level. It's how your personality is and how you move into people and how you can deal with things. He's fit into the job. We have what we call personality job match. So when he was put into chief of staff, he performed. Even before that, in the advertising industry, he blew it in Ghana, you know, and it has caught up with the system. So the man is just fantastic, talented, very cool person, unaggressive, you know. And that's how he comes, that he works with everybody. And people have emulated him. It's just unfortunate that he's not living to also benefit more and more and more from Nanado, who is going to come 2017 president of Ghana. That is the only thing I think he has missed. But his children are there. They should follow up that generation, because he took over from that generation, and his children should also take over from his generation.
Because that very lineage has already been established, and he has come to consolidate it.
That's right.
All right. Now let's look at other subjects. The president has been going on the Accounting to the People tour, and he's been to, well, the Volta region. I hear now he'll be going to the north. Is that it?
He's going to go to 10 regions.
10 regions, of course.
I don't know where next.
But more importantly, it's the things that he's been saying his government has achieved, and the criticism thereof that we're here to discuss. And well, that's what I have here by my synop. It says President John Mahama's claim that some Ghanaians are unable to take advantage of the economy because the last kill has sent tanks wagging, including those from the New Patriotic Party, and they are very much a big critic of government. But the president succinctly has been saying that because we say we are not feeling money in our pocket, it doesn't mean that he's not doing enough. And he also says that it's a possibility that we're just not taking advantage of the opportunities there are in the economy, which have been created by leveraging on what we have, and how prudently perhaps we're trying to minimize or control our expenditure. And that seemed to have drawn a lot more criticism. We've had Kweku Kwarteng, who is your spokesperson on finance, etc., come to vehemently criticize the president for that.
He vehemently criticized the president. I don't think he should vehemently do, because it is out there for everybody to see.
I don't get your point.
The performance, the economic performance is out there for everybody to see. So we don't really need to be aggressive again, because when I in the army, excuse me to say, when you make a mistake in we used to have this our instructor trainer when I was a kid. When you make a mistake, then say so the whole world see you. You know. So the performance of the Mahama NDC government, the whole world has seen that. So abysmal. Now, first of all, let me put something
into perspective.
Yeah, to precede what I want to say. President Mahama says it is an exercise in mediocrity for a government in power. A government in power to say, I have built schools, I have constructed roads, I have constructed bridges.
He said that?
He said so. 2008, at the what they call the new NDC, when they wanted to throw Rawlings away, they tactically sidelined Rawlings and they said new NDC. He said it there. So that when Kufuor's MPP says, I've done roads, I've done gutters, I've done hospitals, I've done whatever, it is an exercise in mediocrity. So bouncing back, that's, I don't want to comment there. Bouncing back, what is it today? Okay? Now, every government, yes, would do these things, which I agree with President Mahama. Every government.
But the schools he's built are not just mean schools. They're very well structured. And
no problem. There were schools he attended to become president. There have been schools we attended to become MPs. And there will be schools for others to attend and become what they will be. Okay? So when you say it's an exercise in mediocrity, fine, then let's put it aside. So now don't come tell me you are building schools, you are constructing roads. That is what you are supposed to do.
That's his job.
Yes. So what is the issue? You came into power, and if you look at the trend, Ghana from 2000, growth was 3%, as you see. Yeah. Then when Kufuor came, it went up to 8-9%. Okay? On and on. President Mills came. It went up to 11, 12, going to 15. Then you, Mahama, come. Then it's declining.
So your point is what?
Incompetence, mismanagement of the economy. So,
but it doesn't necessarily say that. He was vice president, heading the economic management team under Mills, for which they went straight up to or close to 15%, 14 point something percent based on.
Yes, and very good, and suddenly dropped. So incompetence has set in, lack of new skills have set in, improving ways of doing things, efficiency, everything has slackened. Okay. Now, when you say the economy will roll out jobs and people have to take advantage if they have skills, let me tell you something. This country has over and above skills. We have excess skills. So that statement shouldn't be made at all. I don't agree with that. We have. Can I give one example?
Please do.
Take Tema Oil Refinery. Who ran it? Ghanaians. Take VRA. Who ran it? Ghanaians. Take Nestle. Who ran it? Ghanaians. What skills are you talking about? Now, when the president even says he is rolling out the economy, and then the economy will create jobs, and people don't have skills, what is the training needs the national training needs analysis he has got?
Based on what you say? What is he benchmarking that though?
You know, before you say people lack skills because there are jobs there, you need to have a whole training needs analysis to identify which skill gaps industry needs.
Okay, a point has been made on this. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're going to have in the studio Alhaji Inusa Fuseni, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central. I keep saying that once it's a political, we have to mention the seat first. He's still standing though. But he's also the Minister for Roads. I don't know whether he's ready to answer some road questions. So, but we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll invite him into a discussion to help us do the analysis on what the president has been saying on his accounting to the people tour. To stay on. Well, so we have Alhaji Inusa Fuseni. He's a Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Minister for Roads. And thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Roland.
He's an avid exercise man.
Yes.
Goes to the gym. He's very disciplined. It's too difficult to work out.
I saw you last week.
I'm telling you, it's not easy.
On set.
Since that day, I've been doing it.
You were trying to outdo your trainer.
I'm telling you. I can't outdo. He looks so muscular. But we've been reacting to what the president has been saying on his accounting to the people tour. And I know you have been accompanying the president. But the president seemed to be speaking so much. The criticism is that for all the things that he's been saying, physically people can see. If the economy is bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. If it's not good, then that's it. If there are opportunities, there are opportunities. Why say there are opportunities and perhaps those opportunities, whether they are limited or not, are not being taken advantage of?
Well, Roland, who tells the story better than the creator of the story?
Oh, sure. But in Chilling Kamfune,
no, but in Chilling Kamfune, but you must put the president within the governance framework of this country and understand that the president, just like the Member of Parliament, derives his mandate directly from the people. Directly. Now, the Member of Parliament is limited to a constituency. So he derives his mandate, and I'm sure my brother here, when he gets back to his constituency, he accounts to his people directly. Because that is the only way they can. And I've seen what WhatsApp or of things that he has done and accounting to his people directly. I've seen them.
Now, you mean social media?
Social media. He's taken to social media, accounting to his people. That is what the president is doing. So we went to the people 3.5 years ago with a manifesto and told the people what he intended doing for this country. He has an obligation to tell the people, one, through Parliament. I mean, it is for it is for good reason that the Constitution prescribes that at the beginning of every year, the president appears before Parliament and renders a state of the nation to the people. Now the people receive the state of the nation address through their representatives in Parliament.
Sure.
The president has sent it a notch higher.
By getting closer to
the people and telling the story.
But who tells the president that the people don't have their own minds of their own?
They have.
They don't do an assessment of themselves.
They have. I mean, everybody
Kweku
has a mind.
He's your colleague in Parliament.
Yes.
He's also the MPP spokesperson, usually on economy, or the subject of the economy. And we know that government has been crowding out small and medium-scale enterprises, but indeed the whole private sector, because your government has been borrowing extremely from the markets. And I quote him. He says, you would want a reasonably lower interest rate so that when businesses borrow from banks, they'll be able to pay back their loans and make profits and continue to expand their businesses. And then you should be able to rechannel back whatever it is. It says energy supply also has to be reliable.
Sure.
But it says all these things government has failed on them.
How has government failed? Roland, in 2012, we ran a deficit of 12%.
It was your own fault.
Well, we ran a deficit. It's a story. It's part of the story. You need to understand.
I know in
the context of the story and situate it within what Kweku Kwarteng is saying. We ran a deficit of 12%. We committed ourselves into reducing the deficit. We brought it down to 7.3%. We are committed to bring it further down to 5.3% this year. You can only understand the growth of the economy if you understand what a reduction in the deficit will do to interest rates. When the deficit comes down, interest rates are going to follow. When we no longer borrow to finance the budget deficit, then we will not be crowding out the private sector. So you must understand it within the framework.
So you're saying it's a journey we're going?
It's a journey. And that's why the president needs to tell the story.
And you want your critics to just wallow in that very state and say, we accept whatever you say, hook, line, and sinker.
Manner.
The other criticism is that you created the mess yourself.
We didn't.
You may have created the mess yourself in terms of exceeding your limit, in terms of how you need to expend your money.
Well, there was a legal framework within this country that allowed government to borrow from the central bank. Government borrowing from the central bank.
But it's got its repercussions.
Central bank has to print money and put in the system.
But it's got its repercussions.
This is the government within an election year has committed itself to zero borrowing from the central bank. This can only be well intentioned. Now that's what we're saying. That you see, you have to benchmark
what the president is saying.
What the president is saying.
And put it in context.
And put it in context. And understand that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
But there's this very question I've always wanted to ask the critics of government, is that, well, there are things about interest rates, the normal variables by which we use in assessing whether the economy is doing well or not. But for ordinary people in communities who don't engage in the daily trade and commerce activities for which we are very much concerned about, these things about the variables really don't matter to them. They would be very much happy inwardly, introspectively, about a project or a value addition project or activity in their community than caring about whether government has crowded out the private sector or not.
Yes. You see, everybody has his way of measuring a certain impact. The economists, the statisticians will rely on data and do analysis to see how the trend is. And then they say, oh, there is progress or there is not retrogression. That is the universal thing. So when we say that inflation is rising, it means that things are getting bad in the fiscal management and other things. Export-import balances are not catching up. That is the bottom line. Then someone sits in the house, like in my village in Nabdam, Tindongo, Pelongo market. He goes to the market today, buys a bowl of millet, and it's 5 cedis today. The next hour he goes is 6 cedis. The next hour he goes is 6 cedis, 50 pesos. Then that is how he says, oh, why? Yesterday I bought 5 cedis. Today you are telling me. That is how they also assess. Okay, so you don't tell the rural person or the, in quotes, the non-economists that inflation rate is this and export-import things. No,
but you say they feel it.
They feel it. So, and like I said, infrastructure, like the president has told us before, is a normal government business. Okay, so when you come on and you create a problem, you take over administration, CD dollar rate is 1.2, then you mismanage the system and it goes up to 4 cedis to $1. Then you struggle, beat it from 4 cedis to 3 point something. Then you say we should clap for you. Then you are not being sincere to the system because you have created that big gap from 1.2 to 4, okay? Then you have brought it to 3.8, 3.9, even at best 3.7. Then you are saying that the economy is resilient and that you have improved the systems. That is totally contrary to the realities on the ground. You know, so in doing in accounting to your people, yes. What happens is when the president comes to, in quote, account in parliament, we don't fly party flags. He flies Ghana flags. You see, as soon as you are elected as the president or as whatever, you are now for Ghana.
That's right.
So why people are saying this is an NDC campaign tour is because the president has facilitated a whole program of NDC activities. Crowds are being mobilized by the NDC in party regalia to the grounds where it is the president of Ghana who is coming to show the people, to tell the people or show the people what he has done.
So you're saying he's only accounting to his party people?
That is what he's doing. He's campaigning. Then he will come in the last 2 months and say, oh, he only used 2 months to campaign. When at that time he's wearing the NDC regalia. At the moment he's wearing suits. He's wearing Ghana-made shirts. Okay? So the grounds he goes should be decorated with Ghana flags. Then this time, if it's me, I go this time, only Ghana flags. I am telling the people of this country that I, President of Ghana, this is what I have done and I've come to show you. And this is how much money I took and this is how much I spent. These things are lacking. That is the
Mr. Fuseni, do you think for all the things that the criticism are about the economy, etc., the added bit about whether he's campaigning or not, perhaps is just being thrown into the whole narrative to take away people's minds of what the message the president has been sending?
Exactly so. And I'm surprised that MPP has launched to that.
Well,
they stayed in power for 8 years.
Well, they have a right to say that.
And we saw Kufuor do exactly that when he went around his talks on purely national activities. He's here. They are going to bury Jake Obetsebi Lamptey. He's a national figure. MPP has released an apparel, a dress code, decorated in MPP colors. Does it mean that NDC members should not attend the funeral? What is he talking about? If you come to equity, you must come with clean hands. You can't approve it and reprove it. You can't do that. There are qualities that inhere in the president. The president gets elected into office through a mechanism. He didn't come into office as an independent presidential candidate. He wrote and the Constitution allows a person to be supported by a political party to contest for a leadership position in this party, and especially the highest position of this land.
But we haven't started regular campaigning, have we?
No,
Or there's
I'm
no
just trying
time
to, I'm laying the foundation for why it's difficult
to distinguish.
No, to tell the very vehicle that sent you into office not to come support you when you are doing a national activity. How do you do it? Say, oh, my party NDC members, today I will be in Japan. I'm going to cut a sword. That sword is a national, cutting of that sword is a national activity. So the very vehicle that rode into office, please, when you are coming to support me, don't come in your party colors. I mean, how can we say this? I mean, when it suits you now, you say, oh. The president did not go to stand there waving NDC party colors and say, look, NDC is going to cut the sword. Or the NDC government is going to cut the sword. Mind you, listen to the president. He's been very conscious about statements he's made throughout.
Including having sharp rebuttals towards his critics threw at him.
Well, why don't you rebut? They are rebuttable presumptions. They are rebuttable criticisms. And any opportunity that you have to rebut them. And all politicians do. If you don't rebut them, you lend credibility to those statements. So why don't you rebut them? You are told that the economy is not doing well. The Economic Intelligence Unit says that, well, from 2017 onwards, the economy will grow.
But then they predict the president may have lost the election.
Yes, they predict, but they also say any political party that wins power might be staying in power for a long time because the economy will grow. My people and his people say, when you hit your leg against a stone and fall, to determine the cause of the fall, you don't look at where you have fallen. You look at where you hit your leg.
The MPP,
yes.
Are you perhaps shaking in your roots and very much uncomfortable that the president, for all the criticism that, well, he may have made promises of building 200 schools, which all of them may not have been completed, and the construction, some may have been commissioned, etc. And so once it's going out and visibly now showing the people what has been done in their communities, perhaps doesn't create a certain chance for you when the electioneering fully takes off?
No, we are not at all. No shaking. No shaking.
You are in good stead.
Go out there and ears on the ground, touching the people and feeling the thing across the market, the security services, the offices, and you get the feeling that things are keeping long. Okay? You see, wherever Kufuor went before as president, the ground was never decorated MPP colors. People could come with MPP colors, as he has said. But the ground...
Are you sure Kufuor time?
I was there. I was a minister. The ground was never decorated MPP colors that the president is coming. It was campaign time that you find that the grounds were decorated. That is the point I'm raising.
But the grounds were decorated by...
it was. Where
I
saw it on
the where? I was with the president.
Maybe you were looking at different
No. Everywhere you have Ghana flag.
I am looking at the TV and I'm seeing.
But we had your party functionaries.
Yeah, we had party functionaries. That's what he's conceding.
And they were wearing mufflers.
That's what he's conceding. And he's even considering it here. He's wearing party colors here.
Yes. I am wearing party colors because I am not the government today.
Oh, so if you are in opposition, you can decide to wear party colors.
We are doing our party thing.
But
if the president of Ghana says, oh, because we're going to bury Jake Obetsebi Lamptey, please, nobody should come in party colors. We won't come in party colors. We will respect the president.
All right.
Okay? So the issue is, when you destroy the system,
The president will not say that. The president is aware of the freedom.
Yeah, that is right. But I
of
say
expression.
No, freedom of expression. But
so the
you
president
can
will
have.
not say that.
You can have.
We don't have a dictatorial president.
It's not dictatorial. If for the purpose of certain cultural issues, you can put certain ideas forward, sell them, and it will be accepted. That is the discipline I'm talking about. You see, 200 schools was taken from when Nana said he will build 350 schools. Okay? So that falls short of what Nana would have been doing.
And Nana would have completed all.
200, yes, 200 schools, you say you build 50 a year. We are now looking at performance levels. That is where the issue of competence comes. That is where the issue of an effective teamwork comes. Have you been able to do the 50 per year? Now they're going about the, look, we should be careful. Here again, we'll be classified as political quantity surveyors. Some of these jobs have to be looked at carefully.
You mean the
minister,
quantum?
The performance quality. It has to be looked at carefully.
Well,
the Minister for Local Government even was lamenting that in this government, prices for contracts are inflated, shoddy work is done.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
He said good money have been paid.
He has not disputed it. Okay? So these schools being built, and I promise you, I tell you here, mark it down. These schools, communities will cry to convert them to boarding schools. It has happened before. When President Kufuor initiated the...
But at least it's a start, they have a school. The model schools.
That we don't have a problem with.
All right.
I said that is an exercise.
Your point has been made. I know that he would want to react, but let's look at this. Let's look at this quickly before we take a wrap. The Supreme Court ruled on May 5 deliver its verdict in the case in which the Electoral Commission is being challenged over the validity of the current voters register. And the court fixed the day after he had adopted the memorandum issues agreed on by the plaintiff, the EC, and Attorney General. And we know that the plaintiffs are Abu Ramadan, Mr. Inusaf Husseini, National Youth Organizer of the PNC, and Evans Demakwe, a private businessman who sued the EC over the validity of the current voters register. Very interesting. This very register, how would this very court case and the verdict thereof put to bed all the arguments, Mr. Inusaf Husseini?
Well, because the matter is sub judice, I do not want to...
Not to dwell on the court subject.
You see,
it's a subject of public interest for which we are even already talking about.
I have said it on this your platform. No register, even a school register, is ever perfect.
Well, that's not an excuse, is it?
Well, so what do?
You register new people.
No, you audit the register.
You take a paper and you register new people.
No, you audit the register, and because it's an electoral register, you add to the register.
So you go through the names.
You go through the names. That's the auditing. Because we are human beings.
Not take a new paper and write names.
No, we are human beings. Why do you repeat? Repeating mistakes is not experience. If we go and do a new register, what is the guarantee that you won't have the same defects that you are complaining about? So why do you go repeat mistakes? We have a register, we have a platform, we have a document. We served us in 2012. That document admittedly registered and contained the names of people who were leaving. Some of them are dead. Some have left jurisdiction.
And some will die before the election.
And some will die before the election.
Even after the auditing.
Or even on the election day.
Even after the audit.
So even after the audit, perpetual vigilance is the price you have to pay for true democracy.
But that's not what the law says, does it? The law is not quoted explicitly as saying that you, the party, have to be vigilant before you get a sense of fairness and an assurance that the register is as credible as it can be for an election.
Yes, so vigilance is not...
I'm saying that it's not in the law.
It's not in the law. I mean, I'm just saying that it's not a law. I'm not putting a provision of the law.
I know.
I'm not.
I'm just saying that for me, it's a moral responsibility we have put on ourselves.
Well,
shouldn't we be talking about legally what the law says and what the mandate of...
The law does not say...
What the mandate of the Ombudsman, the Electoral Commission should be.
The law does not say that at every turn of an election year we have to compile a new register. There's no law like that in Ghana. The law says that before public elections are held, there must be a register of voters. That's what the law says. We have a register of voters. Now, to secure the integrity of the elections, you have to ensure that the voters represent the actual and true persons who are otherwise entitled to vote.
And so the criticism that the Electoral Commission is not taking into cognizance the concerns of key stakeholders is not true?
Well, it's taken into I mean, I am yet to, I'm not a member of IPAC. I'm just speaking as a stakeholder. I think that basically we have to learn to build on what we already have. We have a register, and that register contains names. You and I are on the register. We spent tremendous amounts of money in putting the register together. At any point in, you will find that there could be defects arising out of the fact that we are human beings. We die.
Well, there are key problems.
We relocate.
Yes, sure. Very quickly.
There are key problems with the register.
Very quickly. Law is law.
Yeah.
Leadership, management, and administration is what is used to address the law.
And rests in the bosom of the EC.
Yeah. You see, I would say, as leaders in the EC, there shouldn't be robots. Why do I say so? You see, I remember EC in the past, not this EC, but in the past, from history. You have a master list. Then you have an extracted list. Okay? So what we're talking now, for example, you have a master database up there. Because their problem is that the argument that people will be disenfranchised.
Which is true.
Which is not true.
Which is unlawful. You can't disenfranchise.
I'm telling you. Let me coming to that point. You can't disenfranchise anybody. And the system will not disenfranchise anybody. If you have a master list and you tell people to come and cross-check, confirm their names, and you have an extract, whoever was not able to come still has his name in the master list. And in terms of administration and management, you can always update it.
But you cannot tell the Electoral Commission how it needs to do its work, can it? The Electoral Commission can only take your views.
No, that's why I say it's management. It's managerial.
And the views of other stakeholders.
Listen to me. It's managerial. The law establishes the institute and puts you there to do the right.
That'll be it for our discussion. This one we can continue. The electioneering has just started.
So there's no
but we can have two registers.
Not two registers.
Inus Hussein is a member of parliament for Tamale Central. He's a minister for roads. And also we've had in the studio Boniface Gambela Abdakbela. He's a member of parliament for Nagdab. We're taking a break. When we come back, Gladys is here with entertainment. Just stay on.
It has been happening. Why do we have